Hello, BookTube. And they just start growling. What I decided to do today was because I I feel like I don't want to say overestimated, but I put unrealistic expectations on a lot of people um, with the Pentathon. Even though this is the easiest flippin' um, a-thon that there ever has been. I feel like I probably should have put Burroughs towards the end so people could get and find, and probably because for most people it will be the longest read. I should have thought that through a little bit better. But also, what I didn't realize is that maybe not everybody knows a lot about these um, authors and genres that I'm wanting to go over. So, what I thought I would do um, is kind of go through my Edgar Rice Burroughs shelf um, that's on a different bookcase. And this is like really hard for me because I started a bookcase tour and I'm not going in order. So I have to tell myself that this is not a bookcase tour and that this is a Edgar Rice Burroughs look. And to be honest, there's a couple different reasons why this is cool that I'm doing this. One, because um, I do have some missing books that I should have. Um, and two, I also have duplicates of some books, and like I want to send some to Steve if he has the one, or if he needs the ones that I have multiples of. Um, Also, to tell you about the different series he has, and kind of for me to finally decide which um, which editions of the books that I want to keep. And I realized when I was doing this that this is on the fake shelf in this bookcase. Like, you know how when you get a bookcase, like, it's really tall and there's like one shelf in the middle that you can't move, but then there's one shelf on top and one shelf on bottom that you can move to different heights for stuff. Because most of the books I have are this tall, I was like, you know what? I want to try to put as many shelves in this bookcase as possible. So I have this like shelf from an old bookcase. Actually, where the hell did this shelf come from? It doesn't like fit. So it's like kind of balancing on those little pegs, but it's not as wide as my bookcase is, so it's kind of scary. Um so this could end up in total disaster. But with that said, let's start with Barsoom because that is where most people start. Barsoom is the John Carter of Mars series, and I try not to. And this is kind of like Steve and Mark, um, kind of the same thing where I I can get the books I need and want from like Abe or Amazon or eBay or whatever. Um, for those of you who were around when I was trying to get the UK covers for all the Raymond Chandler books, you will know that when you order a book on Abe, or sometimes Amazon even, they use a stock photo, so you might not be getting the exact edition that you want, because they just like scan the barcode, picture comes up, they sell the book. It could be a completely different thing. So I had a hell of a time with collecting the Raymond Chandler books in that edition. And actually, that's not even a complete project, because I got some of them in trade paperback size and some in pocket paperback or mass market size. So that whole thing went to shit. But anyway, there have been a couple times when I do get the books ordered, but it really kind of takes the fun away from hunting stuff down. Like, just like going to different shops and trying out new bookstores or thrift stores and just kind of hoping beyond hope that you're going to find something. And I think a lot of that actually comes from like my generation and older, the generation that didn't have the internet, the generation that um any why any kind of knowledge about any kind of thing you could think of, you either had to like go use a Dewey Decimal in the library, or trust that some dude at some store wasn't filling your head full of lies. Which we will talk about with the Necronomicon when we talk about H.P. Lovecraft next week, because I got some stories to tell you. But anyway, so this is A Princess of Mars, the Penguin Classics edition, with the cover from the comic. Let me see, does it... Dave Cockrum. Wait, what does that say? Does that... I can't... Oh, man. That's really tiny. Anyway. But I think I actually saw this on Steve's channel. And I did not even know that this existed. And I lost my shit, and I immediately ordered it. So this is a time when I ordered something. But again, the Penguin Classics, the black ones here, dude, they feel so good. Like, even though they're kind of a little bigger, like, I could fold them and do whatever, and they still are perfect. They're so good. These are nice. I don't know how Steve doesn't just sit in his fucking black spine penguin room and just go like this all day, taking books off the shelves. Like, I don't get it. Like, that to me would be one of the hardest things to not do. I would probably spend more time sitting in that room going, okay, I'm going to read one of these books, but I'm not going to fling it around and rub it and feel it and smell it. I'm just going to read it. No. Okay, I'm really going to do it this time. And I would just sit there staring at all these books, telling myself I'm not going to shake the shit out of them. Okay, so anyway, boom. I also got to decide where the fuck I'm going to put all these as this goes. But I do not have all the Barsoom books. I feel like I did this video already. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But it's Pentathon and we're here. Okay. So there are... Oh, you know what? Where is it? Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. No, nope, nope, nope. Where the fuck did it go? I had... People... Oh, here we go. I thought I was losing my fucking mind for a second there. Oh, man. Sorry. Okay, so I have a few different versions of things. Now, the first I'll show you are the newest ones to my collection that I have here. And these are the... let me see if I can do this lighting better. Not much. Okay, if I go too far this way, we're fucked. Okay, so why don't I do this? I'm going to move something here, guys. Hold that thought. Don't look up my armpit, you fucking perverts. Okay. Yeah, now I could get this a bit closer. So this is an Ace paperback. Now, the thing about the Ace paperbacks that I love so much, I think, is the size. Like, they are so little. And, I could just, like, I could hold them and put them in my pocket. The print's not that small, you know? Like, you could read that without any trouble. But these are pretty old. And I think just the way they're made, they're kind of frail. But they got some great, like, little sketches in there. This Ace edition follows the text of the first hardcover book edition, originally published in 1920. Cover illustration by Roy Krenkel Jr. And it does not say what year this is. Oops. Sorry. There's going to be a lot of me just looking at stuff in this video, because I am trying to figure this out. So, Lluvia Made of Mars, I think, is the 4th book. Does it say? No, it doesn't. This one, honestly, was probably my... It was definitely my least favorite at the time of reading them in order. So after you read Princess of Mars, Gods of Mars, and Warlord of Mars, and then you go to this, like, it was like such a downgrade for me. But the series picks up, and I think if I were to give this a reread, I would probably love it. So, but that's a great cover. And I also got A Fighting Man of Mars with another beautiful cover. And this one, I think, I want to say like 6. Actually, it'll tell me on these, I think. No, not 6. Come on. Somebody help me here. Don't make me look like a douche. 7. It's book 7. Fucking hell, dude. And this one's pretty fun. This comes after a couple freaking humdingers. So, it's good. But basically, the John Carter books is about this dude who basically... Oh, look at that illustration. It's gorgeous. And this was originally published in 1931. He astral projects, is the best way to put it, to Mars, while hiding in a cave, fearing for his life. And when he gets to Mars, because of the low gravity on Mars, he's like superhuman. Like, he could like jump over giant buildings. He could punch the crap out of anything. And he was a soldier, so he knows his way around a sword and all this other stuff. And he comes across all of these different races. So you have your green Martians, your red Martians, you do have your white Martians, your yellow Martians, your black Martians, and there's blue Martians, and they play a awesome role in the beginning of the second book, and then kind of disappear. But there's a lot of things based on race in these books, but not to the point where, like, you're constantly going like, these races are bad, these races are good, these races are the good guys, these races are the bad guys. You have like good guys and bad guys in every race kind of thing. And John Carter doesn't give really two craps about anything other than Deja Thoris once he sees her. And once he befriends Tars Tarkas, who is one of the green aliens that are 15 feet tall, he really cares for him and tries to show him and his people, like, that it's okay to show emotion and to care about things and stuff like that, because it's a long story. Anyway, so as the stories go on, um, it just expands from there. We have awesome moments where he's back on Earth for some reason, and sometimes he doesn't know why. And one of the things that basically starts in these books that continues in almost all the other series, not all of them, but a lot of them, is that Edgar Rice Burroughs is a kind of like a conduit. Like, these fantasy stories are being told to you from a dude who heard it firsthand from the guy. So, in real life, Edgar Rice Burroughs is like the nephew of John Carter, I think is how it works out. Um, I don't know. There's a couple different ways I guess I'll talk about a little bit more as we go. But these books are great. They're, excuse me, there's 11 or 10. We'll get there in a second. But the last couple books, like John Carter Mars, was never meant to be a book. It was a couple short stories. One of them, for a long time, there was question if he actually wrote it or if his son wrote it, because it was so different from everything else. But then some other things turned up that showed that it was supposed to be a children's story for this publisher, and then it just fell through. So that's why it's so different from the rest of them. But anyway, so yeah, so let's get through these books because we're kind of lagging here. So these are the Ace paperbacks. I do really like them. I'm going to assume that these are going to be the most expensive paperbacks to get. I don't know that for sure. But, like, I really need some, like, 80-year-old fucker to die and have an estate sale if I'm going to get a complete series of these. Moving right along. Now, these are ones that I remember seeing in stores when I was a kid. Just make sure I don't have another one of those. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. These are the Rey Editions. Let me see if I could go in some kind of order. I don't know how I never got this with a cover like that for Lluvia Made of Mars, with her 8-legged lion. Man, she ain't messing no round. Who did that painting? Somebody awesome. And this was released in... Okay, it was released in 1916 originally. The first printing of this was 63. This 11th U.S. printing was 79. Are you fucking kidding me? 79? This book looks in fairly good shape for 79. Anyway, so that's that one. And I think it's the way the name is. It like kind of looks like a superhero or the front end of a fucking like Buick plow truck coming at you. Here's Gods of Mars. That's a naked John Carter with Tars Tarkas fighting off the blue aliens whose names I can't remember, but look how terrifying they are. Can you see that? They're really wicked looking. Let's see here. And then I got another, a Fighting Man of Mars. Pretty cool. Swords of Mars. This one I also think is short stories. Like two stories shoved together for some reason. Maybe it's not. That might just be Lana Avgathul. So yeah, so there's that. And then this one was so fun. I really like this one a lot. Synthetic Men of Mars. Look at that fucking dude. Not the weird, scary guy in the front, but the, like, broken He-Man guy in the background. Oh, you can't really see him very well, and I'm doing a really bad job. But, like, his body's, like, all deformed, like, half huge, half not. He's got, like, his mouth's almost turned into a beak, and he's got this giant eye. Oh, and look at those flies, dude. Wicked. This book was so much fun. This was a really fun one. But yeah, so this is a cool series, but it's I don't know. It's not. It's kind of cartoony. But man, I love some of these covers. So I don't know. So I've been just collecting these ones anyway. On the off chance that I will get all of them. And here is the Ballantine editions. Now, the other thing with this is that these were the ones that I remember seeing in like my school library with the Edgar Rice Burroughs across the top like that. And these always made me think of Dune. And I don't know if it's just because this is kind of sandy looking, but just the way it says Edgar Rice Burroughs, Gods of Mars, or whatever. For some reason, I always thought, even though it says fucking Mars, I always thought these were part of the Dune series. And I don't picture the ships actually looking like flying boats. But, you know, whatever. But Gods of Mars is seriously one of the best books in the series. It has the best cliffhanger ending of any book of all time. I'm just going to come out and say it. Seriously, when I read the ending of this, I think I did a video of it on here. When I read the ending of this, I flippin' lost my mind. Like, I seriously said, like, I'm like, why is there no more pages? What the fuck's going on here? And I seriously lost it. So that was fun. And then it gives you the order they come in, and they do these cool little, like, Mars #2. And they number the spines. Do the other ones do that? Yeah, the other ones do that too. Not the Ace ones, but the Del Rey ones. And Del Rey and Ballantine, I think, are the same company anyway. But anyway, so there's that one. Mastermind of Mars. Pretty badass. Badass. When did these ones come out? 77. Wow, so just like a year later, they changed the whole fucking set? That is bizarre. This is probably the one of the worst copies of a book I've ever bought. It has like some weird funk on it, but Edgar Rice Burroughs' Swords of Mars, this is number 8. And I don't know if you can see it, but all over this, there's like some like hard funk. And it goes all the way around here and all over the back. And it's like Mod Podge or some shit. So this book, I mean, I guess it's readable, but holding this in my hand, I always like feel like I need to get up and wash my hands. Let's see, Lana of Gathul. Are we really just going in without any kind of? Yep. Yeah. So Lana of Gathul. I believe this is like 2 stories put together. Dude, that's so cool. And my absolute favorite of all of these covers from this edition, and you'll see why in a second, is Book 11, John Carter of Mars. And it has John Carter and the Giants of Mars and Skeleton Men of Jupiter. The Giants of Mars was the kids' book. Check it out. Why do I love this? Socks and sandals, bitches. Socks and sandals. And they're like tube socks. He's got some stuff to do. So, the last thing I'm going to show you in this extremely long video, I'm probably going to break this up now that I went through just John Carter. Zoe got me this, which is just so cool. A Guide to Barsoom, The Mars of Edgar Rice Burroughs. This has a geography of Barsoom, a biographical dictionary, all the people, past, present, who appear in the series, the flora, the fauna, the languages, religions, customs, a general Barsoomian glossary, quotations, proverbs, and expletives from the rich heritage of Barsoom. There's just so much cool shit in this book. Just awesome sketches, you know. There's a couple Boris Vallejo cover art, as if we couldn't tell. There's just a lot of stuff that you can learn about, and it's such a big world that he created for these, and this is just awesome. Especially the maps. The maps in here, like, really helped me figure out where the hell things were taking place a lot of the time. You know what I noticed? I'm missing a book. Because in that series, the last one I showed you with the socks, I also have Chessmen of Mars, which has this awesome cover of these weird headless people climbing into bodies with no heads. And that could be my favorite book in the series. And that's a character. What the F happened to that book? Okay, shit's getting real. It's been 30 minutes. Um, but yeah, so that's John Carter. Chessmen of Mars is so much fun. Like seriously, like that character is like probably besides Woola, like my favorite character of the whole series, and I can't believe didn't get more play. Um, but now I'm wonder if it fell behind. I gotta find it now. So I will upload this, and then next, I guess we'll do Tarzan. So bye bye.